going on, YouTube family? This your man Pristine, back with another video. Here before you is the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3 5G. Yeah, baby. Now, I picked this phone up on Saturday, last Saturday, which was the 28th of August. And today is September 1st, 10:01 p.m. I'm always super busy, and so a lot of times I'm unable to, record the videos right when I get the device, and it pains me because a lot of times, I like to, get the device, do the video, and be one of the many videos that's all coming out about the device. I guess, I'm a few days behind. It's probably going to be like, the 2nd or the 3rd of September when you guys view this content. But as we know, there's no unboxing experience like a pristine unboxing experience. So, go ahead and, kick back, get your drink of choice, get you some snacks, roll you up a blunt, however you get down. And, man, let's get into this thing. All right. So, pleases me to feature this device on the channel. I was a fan of the Z Flip and the Z Flip 5G, with the exception of that teeny tiny insult of a screen on the front of the device. I'm not sure what Samsung thought that was, but it is what it is. They put it out, and it was what it was. Well, now there seems to be an improvement, with that, and that seems to be one of the major improvements with the Z Flip 3 5G. Now, the question is, can that front-facing display live up to the front-facing display that is here on the Moto Razr? Because for some people, this is what it's going to come down to. You know what I mean? And I understand the fact that the Z Flip 3 is completely spec'd up and spec'd out. All the latest high-end specifications, you know what I mean? The Razr, was more of a mid-range offering, as far as its specifications goes, but, it was still being charged an arm and a leg, just because of the build, the components, the nostalgic feel or whatnot. But one thing and actually I really like this phone, so I'm not going to say the one thing that Motorola got right, because I think that they got a lot of things right with this device, and that's my personal opinion. But one thing that they nailed was this front display. And the fact that it is fully functioning, and you do not have to open up this phone if you really want to interact with it. You can return and you can reply to notifications on that display. And that, ladies and gentlemen, for a folding device is huge, because having as many folding devices as I have, it does get kind of cumbersome always having to unfold the device to truly interact with it, or certain things are limited. You can do certain things on the outer display, but then it'll tell you, okay, if you want to perform this function or that function, then you got to open up the display. That can be a little frustrating at times. So Z Flip 5G, obviously, that teeny tiny screen on the Z Flip and the Z Flip 5G, Samsung, I'm sure they heard a lot about how people really felt about that display, so they improved it on the Z Flip 3 5G. Now, before I crack it out of the bizox, you guys already know, let's go ahead and get into the specifications. Now, first off, pricing. I do like the fact that the phone has dropped in price. The Galaxy Z Flip and the Z Flip 5G was around $1,300 or $1,400, if not more, depending on the gigabyte variant that you decided to go with. Now, there has been some grumblings. People are always grumbling over something. We got the Z Flip 5G here. The price has been reduced to $999 for the 128 gig variant. And some people are, oh, well, why? The storage. Oh, God, how come it couldn't have been 256? Well, I mean, not everybody needs 256 gigs, ladies and gents. I mean, like I said, give me a 16 and 32 gig device, I'm straight. But that's just me. So in this particular situation, I'll take the $300 or $400 price reduction and save before I start stressing over storage space. You see what I'm saying? Now, I do understand the fact that the storage is non-expandable, but that's another topic. You know, I'll leave that topic for those of you that care about such a thing, because I don't. You know what I'm saying? I would always elect to save hundreds over storage capacity, if that makes sense. And that's just me. No knock on anybody. That storage capacity is a real serious deal. I get it. Some of you guys, I'm sure, do a whole lot more with your devices than I do. You see? But I'm all about that paper, baby. You know what I'm talking about? If I can save it, that's what the business is. Yes, sir. So $999 for the 128 gigabyte variant is the starting price for the Z Flip 5G. All right. Now we've got a 6.7 inch foldable dynamic AMOLED two times AMOLED display rather. We've got 120 hertz refresh rate. We've got an HDR10 display. This is a 1080 by 2640 pixels display. We've got a max brightness of 1200 nits. That's bright. That's very bright. Okay, we've got an 84.7% screen to body ratio. We've got 426 ppi pixel density, and the cover display is a Super AMOLED 1.9 inch 260 by 512 pixel display. Now, the internal specifications, the guts. You know what I'm saying? We got the Snapdragon 808. The Snapdragon 888 SoC 5 nanometer 5G chipset. We've got an octa-core CPU. We've got the Adreno 660 GPU running Android 11 over One UI 3.1.1. Again, as I mentioned, 128 gigabytes of storage, 8 gigabytes of RAM. All right, now the cameras. The main cameras on the rear of the device, we've got dual 12 megapixel sensors. We've got a 12 megapixel 1.8 aperture. This is a 27 millimeter wide lens. And then we've got a secondary 12 megapixel sensor with an f2.2 aperture. And this is a 123 degree field of view ultra wide lens with the 1.12 micron pixel, featuring dual pixel PDAF, optical image stabilization, LED flash, HDR, and panorama. We do have 4K recording at 30 or 60 FPS, and we've got 1080p recording at 60 or 240 FPS, and we've got 720 at 960 FPS. All right, now the selfie camera, this is a 12 megapixel sensor, f2.4 aperture. This is a 26 millimeter wide lens with a micron pixel of 1.22, and that features HDR and 4K recording at 30 FPS. Now the battery, we've got a 3,300 milliamp hour non-removable battery. Now this is kind of insulting right here. We've got a 15 watt fast charging capability. I take somewhat of an issue with that, just because 15 watts, I mean, yo, stay tuned, because I got my full pristine review for the ZTE Axon 30 Ultra 5G, and that phone comes with a 65 watt charger. And I mean, when they say literally charge up your phone from 0 to 100 in about, 20 close to 30 minutes, that's no cap. No, that's no lies. So when you're used to charging speeds like that, and even with my iPhone 12 Pro, recently I've really been rocking my Axon 30 Ultra and my iPhone 12 Pro. I typically rock with two devices all day, every day. And I have an Anchor fast charger that can charge any device, but it charges my iPhone super fast. And so I've grown accustomed to having pretty quick charging speeds. And I mean, 15 watts in 2021 for $1,000 device, it's like what Debo tell homie, and I got the hookup. Slap yourself, Samsung. Slap yourself. You know what I'm saying? 15 watts in 2021 for $1,000 device. Come on, man. Come on, man. Give us a little more than that. At least give us a 25 watt, 30, 45 watt fast charge or something. 15 watt Samsung, man, killing us. But that's what it is. All right, so we've got 10 watt fast wireless charging We've got 4.5 watt reverse wireless charging. We've got a Type-C port, Type-C 3.1. The colors you can get this in is Phantom Black, green, lavender, cream, white, pink, and gray. Now, this is the lavender color. You can tell by the Z on the box. The Z on the box, the color of the Z is always going to be the color of the device. And some of you guys, I'm sure some of you guys are probably going to be scratching your head. Pristine got a lavender device, you know. Hey, you never want to judge a book by its cover. I've seen all the colors, and that lavender is slapping. You know what I'm saying? To a point, if I chose this color, that means this color goes hard in the paint. You know what I'm saying? This color goes Giannis and, you know, onto Tecumpo, you know what I'm saying, on Cats, you know what I'm saying, going hard in the paint. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so additional features, you know, we've got Bluetooth 5.1 NFC. Now we do have a 32-bit 384 kilohertz audio tuned by AKG DAC in the Type-C port. So although this phone does not come with a dongle or a headphone jack, if you plug in through the Type-C port, you are still going to get optimal sound. Now, some of you may have an issue with that because you're going to be like, well, how am I going to listen to my music and charge my device at the same time? And I feel you on that. All right, I understand that argument, but unfortunately, there is no 3.5mm jack. But you do got that quad DAC, hashtag bars, in the Type-C port. Man, I need to get on this album, man. Yeah. We've got stereo speakers this time around on the Z Flip. Okay, so that is definitely a welcomed addition. We've got IPX8, which means that this is water resistant up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. Now, it's not dust or sand resistant. I mean, so, you know, people are saying, oh, you want to avoid taking this phone to like a beach or like a sandy area or area where there's like small grains of sand, you know, it can get into the device and possibly damage it. People have explained to me, you know, the importance of an IP rating or an IPX rating. People have said things to me when I pose the question, why is this so important? And it is important to some people enough to where it could be a determining factor. I will never understand this because I was born in 1978. I'm getting ready to turn 43 in 3 weeks. And I was always taught you don't bring electronics near water, period. And that is engraved in my mental. That is engraved in my dome piece. So it doesn't matter to me what type of water resistance or IP ratings that it may have. I'm not concerned about whether the phone can be dunked in water and still function. I'm never going to drop my phone in water. I don't be at the clubs, and if I am at a club chilling or at a lounge or something like that on some real grown folks vibe, I don't drink. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I am sipping on something, you know, it's either a tea or a warm water with lemon. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the careless type. I don't spill my drinks onto my devices. And, you know, I do live in Seattle, Washington, where it does rain a lot. And some people are like, oh, well, Pristine, especially where you are, you want a phone with an IP rating. It's always raining out there, man. And you want to be able to use your phone with confidence when it's pouring down outside. Look here, Playboy, I don't be out in that. You know what I'm saying? I don't be out in the rain, man. If I am out in the rain, moving and shaking, I'm in my car. I stay with an umbrella. I stay ready, so I ain't got to get ready. So if I am talking on my phone, you know what I'm saying, out in the rain, trust and believe I'm under the umbrella. You know what I'm saying? I'm under the umbrella. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, kill all that noise, man, about this IP rating, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, for those of you that's important, you know, that's an important feature. Hey, no knock. You know, no knock. I'm just saying, for me, hey, I could care less about an IP rating. You know what I'm saying? But it is pretty amazing that we have foldable technology that now have an IPX rating or some form of water resistance with the Flip 3 and the Fold 3. All right. Now, the weight of this device is 183 grams. That weighs out at 6.46 ounces. Unfolded, the device is 166 by 72.2 by 6.9 millimeters. Folded, it's 86.4 by 72.2 by 15.9 millimeters. So yeah, I mean, those are going to be your measurements for the device, and yeah, that's pretty much it for the specifications, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, that's yeah. See, got the little, the hourglass, to match the lavender. You know what I'm saying? It's got the lavender scent. Oh man, come on, man. We swagged in and swagged out, man, on the Pristine Tech Show today, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let's get it. All right, man. Yeah. Nice little presentation. Obviously, we got that thin box Z Flip 5G. Obviously, the box is this thin because there is no charging brick in the box. Now, I gotta rock. I roll wholeheartedly with my man Flossie Carter on this one. $1,000, man, you should be putting the charging brick in the box. That should not be a separate accessory that you should have to go and buy. Samsung should not be assuming that people just have charging bricks laying around to charge their device. Now, luckily for me, I've had several Samsung devices. I've got all kind of Samsung chargers, but I mean, that's not everybody's reality. You see, so I think, with the money that we're paying, whether you're buying this phone flat out or whether you're putting it on installments, because you've got multiple ways to pay nowadays. All in all, you're still spending, what I'm saying? I mean, $1,000 unless you took advantage of some of the promotions and, traded in a device or two and got a significant portion of money knocked off and just paid the difference. But there should be a charging brick. There should be a case. There should be a screen protector. Everything should be all inclusive in this box. There's no reason why this device costs $1,000 and everything else you have to go and buy separately. When you got mid-range and budget devices that are coming out and everything, and I mean everything, is in the box. Everything. It's shameful, But let's crack this box. All right, here we go. Boom. So as soon as you open up the box, ladies and gentlemen, you want to be extremely careful not to have this thing upside down, because the last thing you'd want to do is have your brand spanking new shiny Z Flip 3 5G hit the ground. Now, Samsung is claiming, if I'm not mistaken, that these new foldables are, I believe they said, 80% more durable. I mean, I'm not doing a drop test to find out, you know what I'm saying? But if you want to do that, then get in the comments and let me know how that worked out for you. All right. So, yeah, here we go. So now, oh, look at that. Look at that. Woo, that is beautiful. I really like that two-tone. Like I really was gonna go for that cream and black, because that really reminds me of the Pixel, the Panda version of the Pixel. You had the white one, and then the camera portion, it was, had that glossy finish with black. It looked dope. And I saw this one up close and personal, and I looked at them side by side, and I was like, man, that lavender is going hard, man. Oh man, that is beautiful, man. Let me go Johnny Gill on y'all, man. My. Woo. Sure look good tonight. That lavender looking good, baby. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Man, that's the lavender Z Flip 3 5G, y'all. All right, let's put that. Well, hold on. Let me boot that thing on up real quick. Okay, I was about to say that took a little bit longer. I was gonna say, I know we got some juice, Samsung. Man, whew, had to sing it to you. Okay, so we've got some literature here, and this is nothing. but your quick start guide, Spanish, Galaxy Z Premier, a world of benefits is waiting for you. Terms and conditions. This is your Type-C to Type-C port. Again, there is no charger in the box. There is actually nothing else in the box. After you just spent $1,000, $1,000, a rack, a stack, you know what I'm saying? All those little colloquialisms for $1,000. You get nothing but the device. And for some people, they're like, hey, that's all I need. There really should be more in this box. All right, now, of course, you are greeted with the old Samsung welcome screen. I'm surprised that it hasn't started I was going to say Alexa, that Bixby hasn't started talking to me, because they do have the voice prompts when you're setting up your device. Now, just real quick, we'll go over the cosmetics really quickly. As you can see, this is 6.7 inches corner to corner. We do have that hole punch display right there. I was wondering why they decided to go with the hole punch display right there. I don't have an issue with the placement, but you notice that on the Z Fold 3, the inner display, it's under the display sensor. And so I just thought maybe it would have been cool. Of course, not the same old 4 megapixel camera that's on the Z Fold 3's internal display. But why not have the 10 megapixel sensor here just underneath the display, just to kind of cut out that hole and just really give us a full screen experience? Like, I think that would have been pretty dope. But I don't know. Maybe Samsung just wasn't that forward thinking, or maybe it was something that they just could not pull off. Either way, it is what it is. I mean, you know, we've just seen devices that look like this several times over, and so I just wonder how many of these design copies are we going to see before somebody just comes out just completely with, you know, a new design, or just a design where it's going to be full screen with nothing on it. That could be, you know, considered obscuring vision when you're watching your content or doing whatever it is that you're doing. And some may say, oh, well, you know, Pristine, you know, you're being extreme, man. I mean, it is a folding device. It is one of the best folding devices out there. And I'm just saying just what would have been nice to see. You know what I mean? I'm not knocking it. I mean, this is definitely an extraordinary piece of hardware here, and technology overall. Now, to the right, we've got an antenna line here, an antenna line there. You guys can see that in the glare. Damn, hashtag bars, man. I'm just killing y'all tonight with the bars, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, man, I'm gonna get on that album, man. I'm telling you, make sure you support that when that drop. All right, we got another antenna line right there. Here's our power button, and that also doubles as our fingerprint sensor as well. We've got the volume rocker up and down, and there's another antenna line here. This is all on the right-hand side of the device. Now, up top, we've got another antenna line. We've got a noise-canceling microphone right there. You can see the little dot right here on the top left. Here on the top right, we've got another antenna line. Geez, you got antenna lines all over this thing. To the left of the device, we've got another antenna line. Here is our SIM tray. That is a nano SIM tray. It's not a dual SIM tray. And again, this phone has non-expandable storage. I mean, so there is no ability to stick an SD card in there as well. It's just a single nano SIM slot. And that's what's going to provide your phone with the cellular service. All right, now here is the little 5G antenna to pick up the 5G signals. Here is another antenna line. And on the left, on the bottom portion, we've got 2 more antenna lines here. Now, on the bottom of the device, we've got another antenna line here. I don't know if those are 2 noise canceling mics or what. Or maybe one of those is a noise canceling mic and the other one is a speaker. We've got the Type-C port, but then we have the full speaker grill right there and another antenna line to the right of that. And then up top, if you could see, there's these 3 little slits right there. You can see it in the glare. That is our top front-facing speaker. So again, I mean, we do have dual AKG-tuned stereo speakers. We've got 1 up top, and I believe 2 down here on the bottom. I believe that one of these dots is also a speaker, but we'll test that out to see. Go ahead and fold the device. Wow, look at that. just the portability. And this is that glossy finish. It's not that matte feel that you're gonna get if you were to choose, say, like the Phantom Black. But wow, this is a really nice looking device. Go ahead and unfold it. You can see the hinge. It's nice and sturdy. You're not hearing any noises or anything when you open or close this thing. Beautiful. Okay, now when you open it up completely, and this is how you're gonna rock it in flex mode. I mean, so in flex mode you can be watching a video like this. There's a few different things, more than a few things that you can do in flex mode, but this is pretty dope. Folding the phone back up all the way, you do notice the crease there. You see it, you feel it, but that's not really a big deal. I've got several foldable devices, and the crease is just something that you get used to. You run your finger over it from time to time, if not all the time. But I mean, you got to respect the tech, know not to roughhouse it, to damage the display. But yeah, I mean, the crease, it doesn't bother me. It's not an obscurity to vision or content or anything of that nature. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna go ahead and get this device set on up, and then we'll go ahead and browse through the software, some of the features, functions. We'll poke around with the camera a little bit, and then we'll close this thing on out. All right, holla at you in a minute. All right, y'all, we back in, and so here is the Galaxy Z Flip 3 5G in all of its lavender splendor. So today is September 2nd. It's about 9:31 p.m. Yesterday, September 1st, is when I shot the first portion of this video, and just, the power of editing, and, how you can, it's like the content in which I record is like puzzle pieces, and then the editing, you put it all together and make it happen. It was kind of late last night, and I was a little bit tired, and I just didn't feel like I would have been giving you guys my best. And so I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed, take the phone with me to work, use it all day, and then record this particular portion of the video, just with some thoughts. And so, I hooked it up to another Samsung device that I got, hooked up smart switch, got everything switched over, charged it up, took it with me to work today. And I'm kind of on the fence with this device. And, it's a good device. Is it a device that I can recommend? Absolutely. I mean, if somebody's looking for a nice foldable, and they just kind of want to get their feet wet in the foldable market again, now that foldable phones are a thing, this isn't a bad option. You've got all the latest and the greatest specifications, features, functions. You do have the ability to fold it. I mean, the portability of this device is damn near unmatched. But one of the main problems for the Z Flip 5G is this Moto Razr 5G. Okay, just before I even get into anything else, even though the display on the 5G Flip 3 is majorly improved over last year's rendition, I don't really feel as though Samsung really did everything that they could have to make this phone a much better experience. I look at the fact that, okay, yeah, they increased the display size here, and that's dope. You can see things a little better. You've got a little bit more functionality there, but some of the key things and key ways in which people interact with their phone, you're still not able to do. And so, I really think for those of you that are interested in this phone, you have to sit back and you have to ask yourself, what do I really want? How do I use my device? And if I go with the Flip 3 5G, is that purchase going to be conducive to the ways in which I like to interact with my device? Okay. I say that to say, when you're getting a foldable phone, I want to have the ability to use the phone pretty much in its entirety, whether the phone is opened or closed. That's still not the situation on the Z Flip 5G, on the Z Flip 3 5G rather. Okay. And although, don't get me wrong, it's a better phone than the Razr 5G across the board, right? But the one thing that the Moto Razr 5G still has over the Z Flip 3 5G is this outer display. When you use the Moto Razr 5G and you look at all the features and functions that come along with this outer display, and the fact that you don't have to open this phone up. You know what I mean? If I want to send a text message, I can go to my text messages. You know what I mean? Oh man, I didn't mean to do that. You know, if I want to place a phone call, if I want to call my wife, you know, or if I just want to call anybody, I can just hit the dial pad and I can dial the number, and, you know, either I could, you know, talk in this particular orientation. Mostly I have a Bluetooth in my ear, and so I just hit talk and the phone call is in my ear. I can answer calls, you know, in this same fashion. You know, I can compose messages. I can look at emails. You know, yeah, you can say, okay, that's a much smaller canvas that you're doing that in. But if I don't want to open the device, I don't have to. You see, that, ladies and gentlemen, is huge. I can scroll down and I can get to my quick toggles. You know, I can, you know, toggle on and off, you know, the Wi-Fi or the Bluetooth, or turn on my location or my mobile data, or, you know, do not disturb, airplane mode, whatever. I can do all that without having to open up the device. Right? I can do all that. And, you know, ladies and gentlemen, if you're considering having a phone like this, that is huge. And pretty much the same functionality that you get with the display here on the Z Flip 3 5G, you could do those things on the Moto Razr better, because the screen, for one, is bigger and it has much more functionality than this little screen that is on the Z Flip 5G, the Z Flip 3 5G. Keep getting that confused. So, you know, on the Flip 3 5G, again, you know, it's a bigger display. You know, you got always on display. You could see that. That's on. You know, you could scroll to your right. If there's music playing, you can see your music controls there. If you've got alarm set, you can see your alarms there. Timer, add widget. You know, you can customize this to be what you want it to be. You scroll to the right to see if there's any notifications. And this is where it'll show you what your notifications are. But if you tap on that notification to try to get into it or read it, it's going to prompt you to open up the device. Beautiful device. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely gorgeous. You know, I mean, when you close this thing, the portability, the pocketability, man, this feels very nice. It's a head turner. I mean, this lavender color is absolutely gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. But trust me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, you are going to get tired of constantly flipping this thing open all the time. And then you're going to reach a point to where you're just like, you know what? I'm just going to keep it open. And when I know I'm not going to use the thing anymore, then I'm going to close it. Or if I need to get mobile, I'm going to close it. But if you got like a belt clip case that fits a bigger phone, I can imagine some people are going to just be rocking this phone like this all the time to alleviate the constant flipping, open, closing, open, closing. So then it's like, if that's the situation, then you have to ask yourself, well, why did I even get this thing if I'm going to use it and treat it just like a typical candy bar style device? Things that make you go, So although this is a good device, you got to ask yourself, how am I going to use this thing? In what ways, can me having a device like this, how can I benefit from having a device like this? You really got to sit back and ask yourself that. It's a cool device. It's cool looking. The feature set is ridiculous. One UI is still one of my favorite user interfaces. One UI is chock full of features and functions. There's no shortage of features and functions on this device. None whatsoever. But again, it's just going to come down to how you use your phone and whether or not the feature set on this device is going to be suitable for you in the way in which you use your device. Make sense? Okay, so the device is locked. I didn't set up my facial recognition, but the facial recognition is lightning quick. I've seen it on other videos, but the fingerprint sensor, you just tap it, boom. It just takes you right into the desktop. You barely tap it. And this is no surprise to me because the side mounted fingerprint sensor, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but on the Galaxy S10e, the smaller one, it had the side mounted fingerprint sensor as well. And it was lightning quick, just like this one. I think this one may be a tad bit faster. We're, gotten a few years, ahead of the game. And as far as, tech getting better since the time that the S10e was out. But fingerprint sensor is lightning quick. The build quality, it feels really good in the hand. I wasn't sure when I got this phone if it was that like a matte finish. I don't mind the gloss. I've got a Spigen clear case that's coming from Amazon. I don't want to put any other color cases on this device, that's gonna, interfere with the way this phone looks. Aesthetically, this phone is absolutely gorgeous. It is beautiful. And this display and the wallpaper just totally complements the color. Even to a point to where even the sidebar for your edge panel, you can customize that. I had to make it the same color, lavender color, just to set it off. You know what I'm saying? The phone just looks absolutely beautiful. It really does. Now, another thing, we've got a 120 hertz display. You can see, ladies and gentlemen, that I am at, are you going to focus? Are you going to focus? I'm at 41%. Okay. One thing I did notice after using this phone throughout the day was that with that higher refresh rate on, it is literally going to drain your battery very fast. Very fast. So that's one thing, that's another thing that you got to consider. Okay, and this is just all, like I said, usually, when I do these unboxings and I'm just like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be right back with you. Let me set up the phone and then we'll go over some things. Usually I'm just stopping the video. I'll set the phone up, or I'll at least just get it to the desktop before I, download any applications on it and just talk about features, functions, storage space, all that kind of stuff. I haven't really used the phone, but I had this phone with me today. I took it to work with me. I've been using this phone for like the past 12, 13 hours. You know what I mean? And so I guess this is just like a brief assessment of what my experience has been over that course of time. So this isn't a full review. I still, need to take this phone, out with me. My main SIM card is in it. So I am rocking this as my daily driver right now. So, in about a, week and a half, 2 weeks, maybe, I'll get the pristine review out, after some real deal extensive usage with it. But these are just some of my thoughts after, a 12 or 13 hour stint, with using this device. Another way that I find this to be useful, the outer display, when I'm in my car and I'm listening to music, of course, you know, I've got my phone paired to my system in my car. And the car that I have, it doesn't allow me to put an aftermarket system in the dash, you know, to enhance the sound, because everything on that center console is connected to that dash. And so it's like, if I take the dash out, then it's like, you know, you're doing away with the heat and the AC and all that. So, you know, it's a 2012. I can connect my phone to Bluetooth and listen to music through MP3, but I'm unable to use the steering wheel controls to change the track forward or backwards. I can't, you know, use the steering wheel controls to go to the previous track or go to the next track. But I can, you know, I can toggle the volume, I can increase the volume. And so a lot of times what I've been doing is my smartwatches, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I have the music app going on my watches, and I can just, you know, navigate songs back and forth or whatever while I'm driving using my smartwatch. But what I noticed is super convenient with this little display is when I'm listening to music and you got your music controls here, this small form factor, for one, it's super easy to just hold the phone in one hand and navigate your music and you know, scroll to the track previous that you were listening to or scroll to the next track. You know what I mean? So it's like this little display, it's like, it's useful for like stuff like that. And it's useful for telling you that you've got a notification. But like I said, I mean, if you want to respond to that notification, or if you just want to open it up and look at it, I mean, you can look at it. Like, I have it set to where, you know, it's a privacy setting. So notifications, they don't like show like, you know, the content. It'll tell me that I've got a text message, but it's not going to show the text message on the screen. Like, I have to open it up to see that. But if I want to respond, I have to open up the device. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, after having the Razr 5G here and being able to respond, like, look, I'll demonstrate this for you real quick. Let's see, go to messages. Like, see if I want to reply to my boys. You see that? Full QWERTY keypad. Is it small? Yes, it's small, but it's doable. You know, and you got the whole Swift key option. You know what I mean? So you don't have to, you know, if you got really big fingers, you know, tapping the wrong numbers, you know, sounding dyslexic, you know, man. But look at this. If only you could do, if you could do this on this, oh man, that would be a game changer. That, ladies and gentlemen, would literally be a game changer. But you can't. I mean, personally, I don't understand why this whole outer display, this whole outer display, in my mind, should be display. It should all be display. This should just be one big display on the front that you will see everything. But Samsung, they fumbled the ball. I think it's interesting how last year when Moto, when they unveiled the Razr 5G, literally the next day, Samsung came out of nowhere and announced the Z Flip 5G. And I was like, man, what a cold way for Samsung to steal Motorola's thunder. You know, obviously, you know, some people were up in arms about the fact that the Motorola was charging so much, but it's more of a mid-range offering. I mean, it's got mid-range specifications. I mean, this phone is still a beast, don't get me wrong, but it is definitely a mid-range device. That's just what it is. And so that $1,300 and $1,400 that you were paying, I mean, you can get it now for $1,000. You know, the price has been reduced to $999. I still even think $1,000 is too much for this device. I mean, good device, but I mean, $1,000 is still a stretch for this phone, given the fact that it's a mid-range device. You know, what you're paying for, you know, the parts and the nostalgic technology, you know, more so than anything else. You know, you're paying for that Motorola Razr name brand, you know, but when Samsung did that, I mean, you know, yeah, I mean, the Z Flip, you know, it had flagship specifications or whatnot, and just about in every category with the exception of the camera in my mind, because the Moto Razr 5G has some damn good cameras on it. It has really, really, really good cameras on it. But in every other department, it beats the Moto Razr 5G. But to me, one of the most important things is that outer display. One of the main reasons why I love the Z Fold, I've got the Z Fold 2, is because when you close it, you've got that whole outer display. And Samsung, they were smart. The Galaxy Fold 1, you had the big chin and forehead at the bottom and the top. And then the second iteration, man, they made that outer display all display. Why isn't this all display? Especially after that insult of a display that they gave us on the Z Flip and the Z Flip 5G. This whole thing right here should be outer display. So it just, I'm not giving no passes, man. You know what I mean? When you got phones like this that is giving you this this experience, a much fuller, a much richer, detailed, functional experience on the outer display, and then you get this. Yeah, this looks cool. This looks dope. Like my wife, she's slobbering over this phone right now. She likes the color. She likes how compact it is. She likes the little outer display, but she's never used a foldable. And so I'm like, baby, you know what I'm saying? I know you'll probably love this phone, but it's like, you don't get tired of flipping that phone up and down all the time when you want to check your notifications. My wife, you know what I'm saying? I mean, she gets notifications real tough. So it's imperative that she's able to get to her notifications in a flash. And constantly having to flip the phone open and close all the time. It's like, you might as well just keep it open. And if you're going to keep it open again, it's like, what's the point in having it? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I mean, yeah, I mean, after 12 or 13 hours of messing with this phone, I've got mixed feelings about it. And some people are going to get this phone and they're not going to like it. And that's okay. That's why you have a 14-day return policy. Try it out. Give it a little test run. If you're feeling it, cool, keep it. It's for you. If not, it's not going to surprise me, to see these things on the open box shelf in Best Buy because people returned them because it just wasn't their cup of tea. Or they just really did. They were caught up in the way it looks. And it's, oh man, the nostalgic feel, if they're, 40 and above, you know what I'm saying? Or if you're just, a younger generation, but, you appreciate, tech innovation. Like this is an amazing piece of technology. It really is. But it's more, this is more reminiscent of your typical candy bar style device that just happens to fold. There's nothing really special about it outside of that. Nothing. And I felt that same way, when I had the Z Flip. I didn't get the Z Flip 5G, and I had my video and everything recorded, and something happened to my software on my computer and I lost it and I wasn't able to retrieve it. I was super pissed off about that because it was a really good video and I wanted to bring it to you guys. That was one of the main issues that I had with the Z Flip. The original one was just like, okay, once you get past, the oohs and the ahs of just having just this beautifully crafted device in your hands that can, open and close. I mean, man, once that thrill is gone, I mean, it's just, boredom really starts to set in just like it would with any other typical device. You know what I mean? So I just feel like, with these foldable devices, there has to be something that really stands out about it. There has to be something that's really, really, really unique about it. Like the Surface Duo. Oh my goodness. The Surface Duo is, to me, and with all the issues that it had, of any of the foldable devices right now, if I had to choose one, I am choosing the Surface Duo because it is a serious, and I mean serious, productivity machine. That's just what it is. Shout out to Microsoft. I see that on, I think, September 9th, I believe, that Microsoft is doing their their conference, and I believe that's the day that they're going to be unveiling the Surface Duo 2. So looking forward to that. Mark that down on your calendars. Yeah, definitely looking forward to that. But the Z Flip here, it's don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to make it seem as though I don't like the device. I'm just trying to give you some things to think about if you decide to commit to this device and give it a shot. And like I said, I've been messing with these phones for a very long time. I had the Z Flip first gen. You know what I mean? The Z Flip 5G was the Z Flip first gen, just slightly enhanced, and it had 5G capability. There really was no difference. And so I've got a lot of experience with this particular phone. And it's a nice refresh. It's the new thing. It's got the latest, specifications. It's a little bit more durable. It's got the IPX rating. It's got some water resistance. Okay, cool. The cameras, it's got the same camera system. But the cameras have been enhanced. The cameras are nice. They're definitely going to be more than suitable than for your average consumer's needs. But that's about it. And I think it's a good option, if you want to spend $1,000, on something different. This phone is definitely going to turn heads. Like I said, there is absolutely no shortage of features and functions with One UI. When you go into the settings, the settings are, it's One UI. You've got a whole slew of things that you can get into. But we've got connections, sounds and vibrations, notifications. You go to display. You've got your light or dark mode. Of course, you guys already know, all black everything, no racist. It just looks so cold on this AMOLED panel. And the Samsung, they make the best displays. So just content on this phone just looks just amazing. But you even got dark mode settings now. You can turn on as scheduled, which is a nice touch. Brightness, adaptive brightness, motion smoothness. Now, this is where you go to change the refresh rate. And like I said, another thing that you have to ask yourself is, sure, if you buy this phone, you want to be able to rock it. It comes on adaptive, which is the 128 gigahertz display by default out of the box. But like I said, your battery will suffer. And I'm just not willing to suffer battery life sustainability, because I need my phone to be, usable all day rather than having to live by a socket. You know what I'm saying? iPhone style. And that ain't no shot at the Apple fanboys and fangirls, but that's just the reality. Not necessarily with the newer devices, because I have zero battery problems with my iPhone 12 Pro, but there's still a lot of people that have some of the older iPhones that have yet to have upgraded, and they live by power sockets. They live by power sockets. And they just kind of, snarl and kind of turn their nose up when I suggest an upgrade. I think it's funny. I just laugh at them, but it is what it is. When you put the phone in standard, which brings it down to 60 hertz, you definitely see a display, or you definitely see a difference. Like when I put it in adaptive and hit apply, like that's super smooth, super smooth. Okay. If I go to my app drawer, super fluid, super duper fluid, right? Super responsive. But people act like if you put this phone back down to standard, which is 60 hertz, it's a little bit more choppy and sluggish, not as smooth. Yeah. But it still gets the job done. You see? And, higher refresh rates are still a relatively newer technology. They're starting to become standardized. A lot of phones nowadays are coming, at least with the 90, if they don't have 120 or 144 hertz display, like my ZTE Axon 30 Ultra, which I think is the best ultra device that there is. Stay tuned because I've got the full pristine review coming for that. The new Moto Edge is out. Stay tuned because I got that unboxing video that's going to be coming soon when I get it. I think they said it's going to be delivered to me on the 13th or 14th of September, so that's about a week and a half away or something like that. That's got a 144 hertz refresh rate display. But you know, people, I get it. You know, I've seen other reviews on this phone and people are, oh man, you know, when you get this phone, you know, you want to rock it out at max brightness and you want to rock that higher refresh rate. I get all of that, man. But it's like, look, if your battery's going to suffer because of it, is it really worth it? Seriously, is it really worth your battery suffering tremendously and you possibly, depending on how you use your device, not being able to fully get through your day on your last charge because you're more so concerned about how smooth things are when you run your finger across the screen? Like, to me, that's not that big of a deal. Like, I understand it. I understand it's a wanted feature, but is it a needed feature? No. Is your battery life sustainability needed? Absolutely, way more than a refresh rate. So what I suggest with this device is if you really want to see some battery sustainability with the Z Flip 3 5G, turn the adaptive refresh rate off and put it down to 60 hertz. If you can stand it, it's not that bad. It's under motion smoothness, adaptive. It says get smooth animations and scrolling by automatically adjusting your screen refresh rate up to 120 hertz. And then standard, get longer battery life with the 60 hertz screen refresh rate. It even tells you right there. And that is no lie. That is no cap. Okay, those of you that don't understand when I say no cap, that just means no lies. I ain't telling you no lies, man. Or if I say that's cap, or I say that's cap, he or she is capping, that's you know what I'm saying, they lying. That's what that means. All right, so Samsung, that ain't no cap with that. You know what I'm saying? If you want some battery sustainability, turn it on standard, and that's where we're going to leave it. Your battery suffers tremendously when you have it on adaptive. Yeah, it gives you a smoother scrolling experience, but you have to ask yourself, is that worth your battery life draining rapidly? It's not worth it. We got Eye Comfort Shield, Vivid mode. Now, when we go to Vivid, it's on Vivid by default. If you want a more natural tone, you can change that. But you notice when you go to natural, you don't have the ability to change the white balance. Or if you go to advanced, then that gives you the option to toggle the RGB. Okay, if it's in standard, you don't have the ability to do that. Vivid, you know, it saturates the colors a bit. It makes the colors pop. I like that. I like the colors to be a little bit more brighter, a little bit more sharper. But then you also have the ability to toggle the white balance and the RGB if you want to customize that Vivid look more so to your liking. I'm a fan of that. I like that. Now, to me, Vivid is solid enough, so I just leave it as is. But if you want to play around with that, then you have the option to do so. Okay, we got font size and style, screen zoom, full screen apps. That's just any application that's not optimized for full screen. You can tell the phone to put that app, whatever it may be, in full screen, so to give you that experience. All right, screen timeout, easy mode, edge panels. So if you want to go to edge panels, this is where you go to make adjustments to the edge panel. Okay, this is where you can go to choose the panels. And if you want to customize the handle, which the little lavender bar right there, that's the handle. Okay, you click on handle and you can change the position. You can have it on the right or left side, lock handle position, which I have that on, which means that the handle is not going to move from that point, because I'm not sure if you guys knew this, but I mean, if you touch and hold the handle, you can take your thumb and scroll it up and down and you can move it pretty much wherever you want it. And so that, excuse me, wherever your thumb typically rests, usually, I mean, you're using the handle with your thumb, or maybe some people reach over with their other finger and just toggle it that way. Either or, this thing is easy to move it out of place just because you're constantly swiping, side scrolling or swiping up and down or whatnot. It's easy to get it out of place, especially if you had it somewhere where you wanted it. So you hit lock handle position and the handle is not going anywhere. It stays right there no matter what I'm doing. You can change the color. Okay. All these different colors right here. And then if it's not a color in here that you like that's already there, what you can do is you can hit the little rainbow one right here. Okay. And it gives you all these colors to select from. And so this lavender color, it wasn't on the on those color options on the previous screen. It wasn't on this. I mean, you see there's like a dark purple right there, but that didn't match the phone. I was like, man, I need to, I'm one of the main reasons why people call me pristine, man, because everything has to match. All my outfits, I'm matching from head to toe. I was just raised that way, man. You know what I'm saying? So even my phones, you know what I'm saying, wallpapers, all that, it's gotta match. I mean, I can't have anything looking tacky. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope that they give you the ability to go in, and if you don't see the color, you can basically create the color. You know what I'm saying? So now my little bar, my handle is the same color as the device and the same color as the little flowery design on the wallpaper. You know what I'm saying? Like my man John Witherspoon, may he rest in peace, in one of my favorite movies, Boomerang, you gotta coordinate. You see, you gotta coordinate. You see? Man, you gotta coordinate, man. Rest in peace, John Witherspoon, baby. Yeah. Oh man, gotta coordinate. Okay, so the transparency, what that is the higher the transparency, the less you can see the handle. Okay? The lower the transparency, now you can see the handle as clear as day. Okay? Then you can choose the size of the handle. You want the handle to be large, you can make it longer. If you want it to be small, boom, you make it smaller. I don't need the handle to be that long. Typically when I'm holding this phone, my thumb is resting right there where the handle is. And so if I want to access my edge panels, boom. You know what I'm saying? I just swipe to the side and there they go. I got action. Just like that. All right. So that's what I'm saying. It's like little stuff like this that you can customize, man. It's One UI is dope, man. It really is. All right, then you got about edge panels. This is just going to give you some open source licenses, all that kind of stuff. All right. Navigation bar. So if you want to toggle the way in which you navigate this device, whether it be the 3 buttons or whether you want to use devices how they typically are, where you're using gestures, swiping from either side to go back, swiping up, to go home, or swiping up and holding to bring up all your recents. You could set it like that, or you can set it like, and I know Samsung devices, they offer this particular option where you got swipe gestures, but you can have the swipe gestures based on the button orientation, which is what I have. Okay, because I'm left-handed, but I'm very ambidextrous, and so it's funny. I wield all my phones in my right hand, and I navigate my phones all in my right hand, and so I prefer for the back button to be on the far bottom right, the home button in the middle, and then the recents button on the left. Okay, so you can customize the swipe gestures to be in that exact orientation, which is what I've got going right there. So if I want to go back, boom, I just hit that. If I want to go home, swipe up from the middle. If I want to bring up my recents, swipe up from the left there. Okay. So you've got some navigation bar options as to how you want to navigate your device. Capiche? Capiche. All right. Accidental touch protection, I got that turned on, so I'm not butt dialing or opening up applications that I accidentally hit just because, say, I grabbed the screen or something and just wasn't paying attention. That stops that from happening. Touch sensitivity, increase the touch sensitivity of the screen for use with screen protectors. There is a screen protector on this device. You could see that in the glare there. I think it is, trust me, it's there. It's not recommended by Samsung that you pull these things off, but depending on how this phone, I noticed that it gets smudged up really quickly, and I know a lot of that is because of that protector. So I may end up peeling that protector off. Hopefully it's not going to be one of those Galaxy Fold type situations where people were peeling it off thinking that it was the protector and it was the actual screen. So I don't know, maybe I'll leave it alone. But yeah, that's where you go, that's where you find that at. And so that's all under the display. You got wallpaper, themes, home screen, lock screen, cover screen. Now if you go to cover screen, you got clock style. These are the different clock styles that you got. And it's funny, so because the phone is lavender, you see all the numbers on these different clock styles are in purple. But it's like if you choose white, then they all turn white. If you choose yellow, they all turn yellow. If you choose pink or like a salmon color, that's what that looks like. You get the idea. You know what I mean? So we're just gonna keep it on lavender, you know what I'm saying, so that we can continue to coordinate. But background images, if you want to add a background image, you can choose from my wallpapers or choose from the gallery. All right, just hit done and we're there. Go to widgets. These are the different widgets that you can choose on the let's see, I need time. Well, maybe I'll keep the timer there. Yeah, we'll do Samsung Health as well. So this is where you can choose what you want to be on the outside display when you're swiping left or right. And you got music, weather, today's schedule, next alarm, Samsung Health, and timer. Now, if we hit reorder, oh, got it. Okay. So it's still the same things. It's just you can just reorder the orientation. So right now, like with music being the first one, as soon as I swipe to the left, then the first thing that's going to pop up is music if I'm playing music. You see? All right, so I get that. So it didn't give you, when it hit reorder, I was wondering if it was giving you the options to maybe do away with those and maybe select your own app widgets that you would want, but that's not really the situation. Choose info to show when you swipe the clock to the left. Okay, so that's what that is. So these are the only options that it's giving you to do that. All right, bet. Biometrics and security, privacy, location, Google, accounts and backup, advanced features. Okay, so we got call and text on other devices, continue apps on other devices, link to Windows, Android Auto, quick share, labs. What is labs? Try experimental features. Some features may not work correctly with all apps. Multi-window for all apps. Allow all apps to open in pop-up view or split screen, including apps that haven't been designed for these layouts. You got flex mode panel. So then you can choose the applications that you want in flex mode. Now it will tell you on most of your applications doesn't support multi-window. Okay, it looks like Amazon does. So we'll turn on Amazon, AR Zone, Best Buy, the Bible app. Yep, turn that on. Okay, it looks like Bixby Voice, calculator, calendar, and it'll tell you supports flex mode. The camera supports flex mode. But if it doesn't say does not support flex mode and you hit the little icon to turn it on, then I believe that it will support it. Like the Cash App, it says doesn't support multi-window. So what it tell you? Google Duo supports flex mode. Flipboard doesn't support multi-window. So this is where you go to choose, which apps you want to be in flex mode. So demonstration, like if I go to YouTube, and this is one of the dope things about this phone, okay, is if you want to watch a video, you can just put it in flex mode while you're watching, and you got your video playing on this screen, but then you've got other stuff down here. You see that? So that's pretty dope. While I'm watching and listening to this video, I can be scrolling down here, seeing if there's anything else that catches my attention. And, I can click on that if that's what I want to watch. And then same thing, it'll pop up on the top screen, and then on the bottom screen, I'll have, other content that I can scroll from. Shout out to my Seminoles. Those of you that don't know, I'm a diehard Seminole fan. Sunday night, game 1, got Notre Dame coming to Tallahassee. Big game, nationally televised. The only game that's going to be on Sunday. All eyes is on you. FSU. Go Noles. Shout out to the Noles Nation. Nah, I mean. But yeah, so that flex mode is super dope. Like that's one of my most favorite features about this device is having the ability to just flip it up like that. That's really dope. I really like that. Okay, you got side key with this. So if you double press the side key, you could either launch the camera, open Bixby, or open an app, and you hit the little. Let's see there, and you choose whatever app you want to open. Okay, and then you double click that side key, and it's going to open the app. Now. That's a double press. If you press and hold, you can either wake Bixby or power off the power off menu. And I'm so used to the power off menu when I hold down the power button, so I can access Bixby another way. And then here there's a little tutorial on how to turn your phone off. All right, and you do that by either swiping down. And then, you got the little power icon right there. Or you could say, Bixby, turn off the phone, and Bixby will turn your phone off. Okay. Now we got motions and gestures, lift to wake, double tap to turn on screen, double tap to turn off the screen, keep screen on while viewing, alert when phone is picked up, which means your phone will vibrate when you pick it up after missing a call or message. That's super useful. Mute with gestures. Mute incoming calls and alarms by putting your hand over the screen or turning your phone face down. Okay. Finger gestures or finger sensor gesture. Open and close apps and features with the fingerprint sensor. Okay. Then you got palm swipe to capture. That's just taking a screenshot by running your palm across the device from left to right. Well, and there it is. Okay, then it's going to bring up your screenshot toolbar on whether or not you want to share or just save it or whatever you want to do. But it's super easy and that's super convenient. Just run your palm across it from left to right, and it's going to capture the image. All right, we've got one-handed mode, Bixby routines, screenshots and screen recorder, show contacts when sharing content, video call effects, game launcher, video brightness, dual messenger, send SOS message. All right. That's all under advanced features. And then the rest of the settings, we've got digital well-being and parental controls, battery and device care, and memory. And so again, this is the 128 gig variant. I do have all my applications. It's like maybe like 41 or 42 apps that I download on all my devices. Not very much. It doesn't really take up that much space. But my storage, I've used 36.7 gigabytes out of 128. Memory, 4.1 gigabytes out of 8 gigs. Okay. So, when you click on internal storage, it will tell you basically what's utilizing the most space. You click on memory and it's going to do the same thing. You see it's checking. It says 3.1 gigabytes available, 4.1 gigabytes out of the 8 gigs used, reserved, 798 megabytes. Free up memory by stopping background apps. You can hit clean now, and it's going to stop a lot of the apps that are taking up memory that aren't really being used. You know what I mean? And this could also help add some snap to your device if it seems to be running a little bit slow, or something like that. So another dope little feature to help you, manage your device. All right. We got apps, general management, accessibility, software update, tips and help, and about phone. If we go to about phone, we got, let me see. Okay, status information. No, that's not what I want to go to. software information. I mean, so you see we got One UI 3.1.1, Android version 11, Google Play system update May 1st, 2021. So I can imagine another system update is probably going to be hitting this device sometime soon, I believe. Oh, matter of fact, okay, Android security patch level July 1st, 2021. Okay, so that's the most recent security patch. But yeah, we're in September, so we still probably should be getting a security patch update pretty soon. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that is, the features. Now let's mess with this camera real quick. All right, so looking for more modes, tap more. Oh, I missed what it said. All right. So we've got photo, video. When you hit more, we've got Bixby Vision, AR Zone, AR Doodle, Pro, Panorama, Food, Night, Portrait Video, Pro Video, Super Slow-Mo, Slow Motion, Hyperlapse, and Director's View. Okay. Then if we go the other way, we got Portrait Mode and Single Take. Okay, welcome to Single Take, where your camera automatically captures a wide variety of pics and clips from any scene. Interesting. All right, so we'll just go back to photo. And here's that 123-degree field of view. So, if you're looking to, capture more imagery in the shot, then you can definitely use that other lens to do that. Okay, we got Scene Optimizer, that little yellow icon right there. When it's yellow, that means it's on. When it's not, Scene Optimizer off, as you can see right there on the screen. Just says Screen Optimizer on. All right, now we'll go to the little icon at the top left. Okay. So again, what I was just talking about, Scene Optimizer, automatically optimize your shots for the scene. We got shot suggestions, get on-screen guides to help you line up the great shots, scan QR code, pictures, swipe shutter button to take burst shot or create a GIF, format and advanced options. So we've got HEIF pictures, raw copies, ultra wide, shape correction. Okay, now for selfies, we got use wide angle for group selfies, automatically switch to wide angle when there are 2 or more people in the selfie. So the phone would do that automatically. That's pretty dope since it's 2 or more people in the selfie. That's pretty slick. Save selfies as previewed. So save selfies as they appear in the preview without flipping them. Selfie color tone, that's natural. Okay, so choose a color tone for your selfies. That's dope. I've never really seen this feature. So by default, it's on natural. But you can hit bright, and that's just going to brighten it up a bit. Let's just keep it on natural. Well, it didn't brighten it up too much, but it did make it a little brighter. We'll keep it on natural. I just wanted to see what that was. Then for videos, advanced recording options. We've got high efficiency videos, HDR10 plus videos. You can toggle those on or off. We've got video stabilization. We definitely want that on. And then under useful features, we've got auto HDR, tracking autofocus, grid lines. Yes, I like those grid lines on. Location tags, shooting methods. Let's see, press volume keys to take a picture or record video, voice commands. You can say take pictures by saying smile, cheese, capture, or shoot, or record videos by saying record video. That's pretty dope. Floating shutter button, show palm. So it's like show your palm to the camera to take a selfie or start recording with the front camera. So you literally just show the camera your palm, and it'll either take a snapshot or set the timer to count down to get a shot or to start recording, depending on what the mode you're in. Okay. Settings to keep, camera mode, selfie angle, or filters. Okay, so camera mode, start camera in the last used mode, such as video, instead of always starting in photo mode. Selfie angle. Keep the angle you last used for the front camera instead of always switching back to the normal angle. And then filters, keep the filters you've applied to each mode instead of removing them when you close the camera. So you can keep all that stuff on if you find a specific style of photo that you like, but you don't have to like recreate that or toggle a bunch of stuff to get it back to how it was. You just turn all this stuff on and the camera will recall whatever those last features were or the last mode that you were in. and all you got to do is launch the camera and shoot. That's it. That's pretty dope. Shutter sound, vibration feedback, reset settings, contact us, and about camera. All right, now if we go to video and go under the settings, video stabilization, shooting methods. Okay, that's pretty similar. I was looking for where we can go to, I know we do have 4K recording. We do not have 8K recording on this device, I don't believe. Here's our flash, timer. This is the aspect ratio, 3:4, 9:16, 1:1, or 9:22. What's 9:22? Oh, okay, that's the full screen. Okay, so that's the full screen viewfinder. And then what is this? Oh, that's motion photo. Okay, I want that off. And then here we've just got some more little filters. Okay, that's pretty dope. Get out of those. And then what is this little icon right there at the top above the filters? What is that? Cover screen. What? What? Cover screen preview off. Cover screen preview on. Ah. So that's the cover screen preview. Okay, well that's pretty done. I see that's much more useful than that little insult of a display that was on the Z Flip and the Z Flip 5G. That's pretty slick right there. That's pretty dope. And you know, you're taking this with the dual 12 megapixel sensors on the rear. I mean, so if you're looking to get like some super sharp selfies, this would be the way to go. That's dope. That's dope. All right. Turn that off. All right, let me take a quick photo. And I'm gonna get a quick selfie. Boom. Wow. That is impressive quality. That is stunning quality. My goodness. You can see I'm in this bright light, man. I'm hot, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll be sweating for y'all, literally. Look at that. That is a thing of beauty. And then just look at the detail. My goodness. Look how sharp the PS5 is. Just the shadows from my tripod light. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know. I heard some people, you know, say that this camera, oh, you know, it's the same camera as, last year's. And I'm like, the Pixel used the same camera lens for I don't know how many years, and they just kept finding ways to make it better. So it's like, don't try to make it seem like even if it is using the same lens as last year, that Samsung didn't do anything different or new and innovative in the camera department to give us a better camera and video experience. Like, that's crazy to me, you know? So ladies and gentlemen, that's where I'm going to stop this unboxing and first initial thoughts and impressions. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to expose yourself to tons of more videos that I've done like this one. If you're in the market for a new device, be sure to check out my content. I've got a ton of phones that I've reviewed, a lot of good stuff on there. Be sure to click that notifications bell so that if you want to be notified every time my videos drop and go live, you'll be one of the first to get notified, and be one of the first to check out that content. And get down in the comment section and let me know what you think about what you saw. I'm open to any questions, comments, feedback. I want to know, you know, what are some things that maybe I missed that you guys want me to cover in the full pristine review. And let's talk tech respectfully. All right. And so thanks for letting me, stop by and bend your ear for a little bit. And you already know, please stay safe. get spiritually fit, and keep it pristine in every aspect of your lives. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.